What is good, everybody? My name is Soju, also known as Simply Soju, also known as Granny Prank, also known as I'm tired of this grandpa. I don't fucking sleep. And today I have with me PG Tina.
Yeah,
and
unfortunately.
PNG Tina, but it's
Mm-hmm.
fine. Her camera battery died, so this is what we got.
Yep.
But also known as Marty, also known as Big Boss Tina. I mean, I guess today you're like Little Boss Tina.
Yeah.
Also known as the Shy Don, also known as We Still Cute in This Bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tina's not convinced, actually. And
I'm
we.
so sad because, like, I put on a sweater. I did my hair.
Not you
I
did your
got
hair.
no, yeah, no. I, I literally look like I just came from work. You feel me? I just changed my shirt, and then all this bullshit happened. You can't even see me.
It's
I'm
okay.
Tootie.
I will say,
Bro.
I will ask how she looks like she's in timeout. Please.
So I also, real quick, I try to make it look cute, throw up a little background. Why did the background cover me? So I'm like, oh, bitch, I can't
Oh.
even have a cute background behind my PNG tuber. So I for real do look like I'm in timeout. It's just a black screen. This.
You know what? It's fine.
Bro.
We're here. I appreciate you
Yes.
still trying. I do have to ask you when we get out from here how you got your PNG up, because I was wondering if we could do that if we were having technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
But we are unhinged and unfiltered. Not that it's jumping is funny.
Bro.
Otherwise known as a scuffed and defeated, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man. But hold on. Dear, I did not want to cough in your ear. I'm gonna be dead on my feet. I told Tina what I was doing. I was just live like an hour ago. I'm doing a raid train at 1 a.m. Your girl don't sleep. We're trucking. It's like the Canadians from South Park is crazy. That her
That's
head doesn't
insane.
detach from the rest of her body. She's fine. But I don't have a lot of did you hears.
Me either.
We need to watch the new Love is Blind, Tina, because
Yes. What is spicy?
girl, it's already better than last season, apparently. Because
Period.
I don't remember nobody talking about last season besides, like, I think her name was Laura in that one piece of shit that was there that she was
Mm-hmm.
with that did not like her whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, that was really it. Apparently there is an Asian couple on the show that everybody is now debating whether or not they have internalized racism or not.
Oh.
There is like whole discussions about this couple being whitewashed and needing to unlearn being whitewashed. And I'm like, oh,
Damn,
like,
I was about to root for them. I was about to say period. And then you
I
just said that. I'm like,
girl, I've been hella confused because I've been seeing people be like, all because they said that they don't date other Asian people because they feel like that's like a relative. It's like it gives internalized racism. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna hold you. I say that shit too. I don't fuck with Filipino men. Other Asian men, absolutely. Filipino men, nah.
mm-hmm.
Also, my mama told me not to date Filipino men. So I don't know. But again, we have to see it. Also, apparently there is the nerdiest black guy that everybody is calling Steve Urkel.
Yo.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like that man, Tina.
Damn.
I saw his promo for Love is
Mm-hmm.
Blind, and his promo was him being like, I'm tired of people trying to normalize that it's weird to eat your boogers. Huh?
I'm sorry.
Huh? What? He's like, yeah, I eat my burgers, and I'm like, I'm not afraid to say it, huh, sir?
Excuse me?
What are you talking about? And that was his promo, by the way. That was promotion to the
What?
season.
Netflix knew what they were doing with that.
Bro, last season was such a flop. We were calling it Love is Bland.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think we were the only ones calling it Love is Bland. Like, they knew they needed to put some weird ass motherfucker on the season, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, aside from that, I don't know about you. Apparently, Taylor Swift's album dropped last week, and I've just been seeing white on white crime because of it. Like, my thing is white women tearing her apart and tearing apart the album. And it has
Damn.
been so fucking funny to watch. So fucking funny to watch because it's just white women. And I'm like, yes, yes, I love it here. Fuck that bitch. To be fair, I've never been a fan of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've said that on the pod,
Mm-hmm.
but I've definitely said that like on my own platform. Because I think Taylor Swift is, you know, the queen of mediocre white women, and
Mm-hmm.
she aspires other mediocre white women to be mediocre.
Yeah.
But watching white women tear apart the album has been everything. Because I have seen one woman be like, "Why is there a song about Travis Kelsey fucking your brains out? Because he must have for you to write this garbage." And I'm like, "Oh."
Yo. Oh
Like,
no.
white women are tearing her up, bro. I saw somebody said that, guys, we can't blame her for the album being bad. She had to write it on Travis Kelsey's reading level.
I'm deceased.
Somebody said she has like a sexually transmitted concussion. Like, it's nuts.
What?
Dude, the white girls are eating her the fuck up, Tina. They are not fucking
Damn.
with the album. It is so funny.
Damn.
uh but yeah. What else is there? What else was there?
Mm-hmm.
Nicki Minaj is still being a coked out fool,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't know what
I
I
don't
don't
know of anything else.
yeah, I was about to say there's not really a lot. But do you remember where we left off on
I
in
sure did.
Oh yes, yes. Nicki Minaj was trying Beyonce. Nicki Minaj put out a tweet saying that Beyonce and Jay-Z are copying her.
I just find that so funny.
Girl, the way that Nicki has been thirsting after a Grammy,
Right.
thirsting after a Grammy. Beyonce has how many damn Grammys, and she's
Mm-hmm.
copying you, and you ain't got one Grammy? All right. And it really hurts my soul because I definitely used to be a barb. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I loved Nicki Minaj, especially like high school, into me like going to the clubs and shit. Like my like high
Yeah.
school to early 20s, I was a barb, dude.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Man.
But I cannot associate myself with
No.
that Sagittarius. I'm not like them, like
No,
they're the stereotypical,
she's the actual Sagittarius.
right.
But yeah, nah. So obviously we're gonna go back to following the case of abducted in plain sight. Um,
I'm so upset that my camera battery just decided to shit itself today because
no,
the way
your
that
face
like
is everything when I'm telling
right,
you about
like
this case.
what? Oh my god.
I was actually telling Dante earlier that he was cracking me up in the chat Cause I'm talking about the K's. Dante in the chat talking about homies 3 for 3. He don't miss. I'm like, please,
bro. The number one Rizzler apparently, because I don't know how.
Bro. I honestly, like, cause he applied like no pressure, dude. He
Right.
applied no pressure, and like Bob folded like a lawn chair.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, come on, man, like it's just kid stuff. You know you want to help me out. And he's like, well, I guess I do.
Bro.
Jerks him off to completion.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, to which he like it was actually really disrespectful in the docu-series when it happened. So like when it happens, like when he finishes and everything, he pulls like a handkerchief out of like his like breast pocket, and he like cleans himself off, and then he hands the same dirty handkerchief to Bob, telling him that he should probably like clean up a little. It was so disrespectful, bro. But I think we ended with Marianne sleeping with Brother B for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Which girl, I hate Marianne. I hate Marianne. Because what do you mean that the first time you slept with this man is after the hearing after your daughter got kidnapped?
Right.
Mm-mm. So I'm not gonna lie, after that, Marianne felt insanely guilty about sleeping with brother B.
Obviously. He done abducted your daughter, bro. What?
She doesn't even feel guilty because of that. She feels guilty because she cheated on her husband.
Oh well, I mean, he actually cheated first though, so she just doesn't know that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's hilarious because she didn't know that had happened until the abduction happened, because this like happened like before, like he him and Brother B did that mess before the first abduction,
Mm-hmm.
because Bob was not like fucking with Brother B, like being around the family like that much, and he's like, well, I have to get back into their good graces, and how else can I do that besides offering my pinar? I don't know, like.
Bro.
So Marianne feels super guilty, and the next time Brother B like invites her out to his like trailer, she breaks up with him in person.
Okay.
She's like, I can't do this with you anymore. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. I have to put like my family first. So she like break things off with Brother B. And there's not really a lot that happens between that and then. We end up going forward like 2 years. So now it's 1976. And the trial was supposed to be like a while ago, but Brother B ended up continually pushing the trial date back.
He could do that.
So he would get get a lawyer, and then the trial date would be fast approaching, so he would then fire his lawyer and say I can't go to trial without representation, so they would extend it so he would have time to find a new lawyer, and he would rinse and repeat this for the next 2 years.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
How many lawyers you gotta go through before they like
He went through a lot, actually. I think it's between like 6 and 10.
what?
Yeah, he would like continually fire lawyers, get close to the trial, be like, "Hey, we can't go into trial without representation." So they were like, "Okay, we're going to extend it for like 2 weeks or whatever." Hire
They
a new
really
lawyer, get to the new date, fire the lawyer and just start the process all over again.
they really allowed that
Hey,
6 to
bro.
10 times?
Yes. It was over
What?
the course of 2 years, which
That's insane.
by the way, over the course of the 2 years with him like pushing the date back, he never stopped calling the Broberg household.
Oh, he's wildin'.
He would call them like nonstop. In the montage in the docu series was actually really upsetting because like you saw like every major family event, every holiday, like just with the phone ringing.
Damn.
He called them nonstop. And if the thing is though, if Brother B answered, not Brother B, if Bob answered, he wouldn't say anything, he would just hang up. He was like purposely trying to get one of the girls.
Mm-mm.
Like if Marianne answered, he would like plead with her to like rekindle their like affair. And she would just hang up. And who knows? I don't even know if like Jan ever answered. It's from what we've seen in the docu series, it was only ever Marianne. I don't think she let the girls answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so fast forward, it's 1976. Jan is now 14 years old, and this is when things just like start getting like crazy, crazy. So it gets it gets to be like the actual trial date, and he is not. He's actually going forward this time, and Marianne gets a letter from Brother B's lawyer asking her to come in so they could discuss like a plea bargain. Um but on the condition that she comes in without Bob. Like she has to hear this alone. Like she is not allowed to bring her husband in order to hear this plea deal with Brother B and his lawyer.
Mm.
So Marianne goes because they really don't want this to go to trial. And I'm not going to lie, I do thoroughly believe that it should have went to trial, but they were
Mm-hmm.
so afraid of like being presented as bad parents and possibly losing their kids that they were avoiding a trial at all cost.
Yeah.
And they were also saying that they thought that the trial would re-traumatize Jan, which very well is true. That is
Mm-hmm.
like a very common sentiment with like victims of this sort of stuff. So Marianne goes, she meets with Brother B and his lawyer, and they're like, we will take a plea deal, and Brother B will plead guilty on the condition that I get to see Jan before like taking this deal. And she
What
was
the
like,
fuck?
absolutely not. No, we're not doing this. And he's like, fine, then we'll go to trial. So Marianne like looks troubled, but she does it.
Mm-hmm.
So that like I think either the same day or the next day, she picks up Jan from school. She, like only Jan. I think Jan's the oldest, so I think she's in high school. I think the other kids are like still in middle school, in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
So she picks up only Jan. They drive to like a deserted like parking lot. Jan's like, "Mom, what is going on?" And when they get there, you just see Brother B like waiting for them. To which Brother B gets in the car, and Jan like is very like tense. Like she is she is not like she basically feels ambushed.
Right.
And Brother B gets in the car and he's like, "Oh, Jan, like it's so nice to see you. Like you look so beautiful, Dolly." And I'm like, "Ugh." Which cuz by the way, like the entire time through this entire case, he refers to her as Dolly because she's his doll.
Mm.
Yeah, it's gross. But so so Brother B gets in the car. He thanks Marianne for bringing Jan, and he then like turns to talk to Jan, and he's telling her like, you know, about the trial, that he's been offered a plea deal, and he's like, what do you it's like, what do you think, Jan? Do you think I should take the plea bargain? And Jan's over here like, mm, girl, I'm 14. I don't know anything about that. Like
Right.
she has no opinion. She's like, ugh. And he's like, I guess the better question is, can you love a jailbird, Dolly?
Huh?
Yeah. And I don't know why they do this in the docu series. In the docu series, she's like, "Yes, of course I can," but in the documentary and in the book, Jan was like non-responsive. She did not answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they did that in the docu series. Probably to add like more drama to it,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I feel like this case does not need extra dramatization. So he says that, but since Jan doesn't respond and like Marianne is sitting here creeped out.
As she should be.
And he's like, "Well, you two aren't any fun." And he's like, "I shouldn't stay here any longer." So he like goes to leave, but not before he kisses Jan.
Where?
I honestly, he in the docu series it's on the forehead. I'm pretty sure that he just kissed her.
Oh hell no.
And I bro, the way that this pissed me off, because Marianne says in this moment, this is the moment that she finally realized that something had happened between Brother B and Jan sexually.
This was the moment.
This was the moment. She had like she had no idea that Brother B had done anything inappropriate with Jan prior to this. And I'm like,
Um.
ma'am, you gotta be playing.
Right.
Because not only did this man tell you that he's in therapy
Mm-hmm.
for being obsessed with little girls,
Mm-hmm.
what else? What other reason would a man kidnap your 12-year
Mm-hmm.
old for 37 days straight?
Exactly.
But she says that they were naive. I don't even know if I can believe that anymore. I think they're just actually stupid. But she said it was in this moment that she finally realized that something inappropriate had happened between Brother B and Jan. And I'm not gonna lie, after Brother B got out of the car, Jan was a wreck. Jan started dry heaving in the back of the car.
Mm.
She curled into the fetal position. Marianne's freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god, Jan, like, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm fine. Can we please like just go home?" And she like stayed in the fetal position in the backseat of the car like the entire drive home.
Damn.
Um, but when she gets home, Bob is waiting for them because while they were having this meeting, a car passed by and it happened to be another church member of theirs.
Oh.
So when they got home, not Brother B, Bob's waiting for them. And he's like, "Hey, Marianne." And she's like, "Bob, you're home early. Shouldn't you be at work?" And he's like, "Well, I was. But then I got a call and I had to rush straight home. And she's like, "Oh yeah, why is that?" And he's like, "Marianne, I cannot believe you." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like she's playing dumb.
Yeah.
And Bob is like, "How can you put Jan in danger like that again? How could you do that to our daughter?" And immediately she's like, she knows that the jig is up. So
Mhm.
she's like he was going to take he, he said he was going to take a plea deal, but he wasn't going to take the plea unless like he saw Jan. And he's like, "How can you be so naive? He was going to take the plea anyway. You just played right into his hands."
Mm.
And she's like, "Bob, I did this for you," like because she doesn't want it to get out about him having like a homosexual like relationship with brother B,
Mhm.
and he doesn't want to hear that. So he was like, "You have to pack your bags." And she was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I obviously cannot trust you to keep our daughter safe. Time and time again, you put Jan purposely in harm's way, and
Mhm.
somebody has to protect our girls. So after the girls go to school tomorrow, you're out of the house." So he kicks Marianne out of the house, and he told her that they're like he's filing for divorce.
As he should.
Honest, yeah. Welcome in, Micah. So honestly, he should. He doesn't even know about the affair, honestly.
Mhm.
But I was about to say all. I feel like all the adults really let Jan down in this case, but I do feel like her dad did try fighting for her after like they got her back the first time.
Mhm.
Obviously, letting that man sleep in the bed with your daughter every night is crazy, but
Right.
he at least was trying a hell of a lot more than than Marianne was. So she ends up getting like kicked out of the house, and it's like the school year is like rapidly like ending. Like it's getting to be like summer vacation. Brother B uh goes to his sentencing, and he does take the plea bargain. And when I tell you that this sentencing is going to piss you off,
Well, that should be like a month.
girl, so because this was his first offense, and
Mm.
because he was such an upstanding member of their community,
Of course he was.
right? Um, they sentenced him to 45 days.
Mm.
I'm sorry. I'm mixing that up. They sentenced
Mhm.
him to 5 years, but it doesn't have to be like, I forget the exact terminology they use for it. It doesn't have to be like he doesn't have to be the entire 5 years.
Yeah, like he doesn't have to serve the full sentence
Yes, he only has to serve 45 days.
of a 5-year sentence.
Yes,
What the
and
fuck?
if he violates his parole within the next 5 years, he has to serve out the remaining time of his sentence. Um, but since he until the trial, like up until like his sentencing, he already spent 30 days in jail, and we're not going to make you spend another additional 30, so you only have to spend 15 more days in jail. So
What?
that is it. He got 15 days. If he violates his parole, he has to do the rest of the 5 years. But yeah, that's it. 15 days
Nah.
for kidnapping a minor.
What the fuck?
Bro, like, I make jokes where if I wanted to live life on easy mode, I would be a white man in the 70s.
No, that ass.
Like, you could get away with everything as a white man in the 70s. That's crazy. But
Nah.
yeah, he only had to serve 15 days. And which I'm not going to hold you, I don't really like, he didn't even have to serve the 15 days like immediately,
What do
cuz
you mean?
he didn't have to serve the 15 days immediately. I don't know how he did this. So after and not the facts, after after the sentencing and everything, he like leaves. He leaves to go open up like a freaking fun center in I forgot the name of the city, but it's in Utah. So for like, and he was only doing it for the summer. Like it's like a Chuck E. Cheese, like that type of thing, like a basically like an arcade for children for the summer. And he calls he calls the Brobergs while like both Jan and Bob are not Jan, Marianne and Bob are not there, and tells Jan that she needs to convince her parents, no matter what, that they need to let her come work for him that summer, because the mission says that, you know, she needs to have a baby by the time she's 16. She's already 14. They're running out of time. So it's absolutely imperative that she comes and works at the fun center this summer.
Obviously, if she gets kidnapped for a second time, they fucking let her do it or some shit, because what the
Bro,
fuck?
bro.
Why were they even like what?
So, and I'm not gonna lie, Jan is terrified. Jan, like,
Rightfully so.
she really thinks that her family is about to be annihilated by aliens if
Oh
she
my
does not
god.
have this baby. So she is terrified, and she's doing everything in her power to try to convince her parents to do this. So like, so she asked her mom said no. She asked her dad, and he's like, if you want a summer job that bag, you could work with me at the flower shop. And that's what she ends up doing for like a couple of weeks. She doesn't stop pestering her parents to work for Brother B at the fun center. And like, Marianne in the book describes this point in like Jan's life as Jan being like hell on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
She was constantly fighting with them about doing this, about seeing Brother B, about why they won't let her marry him, and like whatever else, how she loves him, and like they need to stop keeping them apart. Da 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 da. Which we do get diary entries in the book, and Jan really doesn't want to marry Brother B and like all of this stuff, but she believes it's the only way to save her family's lives, so she'll do
Mm.
it. But yeah, she is like constantly fighting with them. She's moody, she's argumentative, she's like just awful for them to be around. So, of course, um Marianne buys her a plane ticket and sends her ass there.
What?
Yep.
To get her to shut up? She sends her there?
Mhm.
Oh my god. Of course it would be her. Because she's a fucking dumb bitch. Like
I told you I hate Marianne, bro.
that is
I
just
I hate Marianne, bro.
I can't fathom that. Like, bro. She didn't give a fuck about Jan for real. Like, at all.
Mm-mm. At all, because they really fought for like maybe 3 weeks, and she was like, fine, you want to be with him so bad, put him on a plane, like put her on a plane, sent her to the like to his ass. Which, mind you, part of Brother B's parole was that he was not supposed to be coming like within 200 feet of her.
Wow.
So, and she did this without Bob's knowledge, by the way. So when Bob found out about it, he was livid.
As he should be.
Livid, bro. So, at this point, Bob has officially like filed for divorce. Like he's drawn up the paperwork and he's dropped it off to Marianne at her mother's house because that's where Marianne has been staying, is at her mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
So Jan ends up being gone for like 3 weeks, but they can't call this a kidnapping because Marianne fucking sent her ass.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's no way that like the people around Brother B did not find this shit weird, because he was not the only one at the fun center. Brother B's oldest son, Jerry, was also working at the fun center.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just like, he had so much preferential treatment for Marianne, not Marianne, I'm sorry, Jan. And he basically treated Jerry like the help. It was so strange.
Wow.
And there was like a theater out there that he would take Jan to, and like Jerry would ask if he could come along, and he was like, no, this is just like a me and Jan thing. Like, really weird. But I think the weirdest is when it was like Jan's birthday, because her birthday's over the summer. And for that, for her birthday, Brother B invites his brother and his mom out to the fun center to meet her. And Jerry's asking if he could come along with, and Brother B said no. Mind you, that's that child's grandmother and uncle. And he's not allowed to come with. Like, what?
Right.
So, and also, I mean, God. So, by the way, the brother that he invited was the same brother that helped police catch him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, hey, man, what are you doing with the Broberg girl, dude? What's she doing here, man? And he was like, mind your business, Joe. He's like, she's here because she wants to be Joe.
Bro.
And I think it's sick that Brother B's mom did not question this whatsoever. But granted, again, they're Mormon, and I'm not going to lie, it's not uncommon in the Mormon faith to like have a 13-year-old wife. So, especially back in the 70s,
Yeah.
I feel like it was like rampant back then. I don't think it's like nearly as bad now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I did not mess with like Brother B's mom either, because she was just like, oh, what a lovely girl, da, 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 da. And his brother is over here like, what happened to Gail, dude? You know, like your 28-year-old wife, what happened to her? And he was like, me and Gail got a divorce, Joe, you know this. Like, all right, man. Like, he's like trying to talk sense to him, and it's just not working.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, since Jan has been gone for 3 weeks, Bob has been raising hell. Bob had hired a lawyer to contact Brother B's lawyer to be like, she needs to come back now, right now. Otherwise, we're gonna sue you, and you're gonna be found violating your parole because you're not supposed to be within 200 feet of her.
Mm-hmm.
And brother B's lawyer is like, you need to get the Broberg girl back, like, now, man. You're gonna end up spending like the next 5 years in jail if you don't do it. And he's like, please, the Brobergs aren't gonna do anything. He's like, they already have. Like, I'm holding them off as much as I can, but you need to send the girl back. And he's like, you don't have a say in how they raise their daughter. And I'm not gonna lie, this part in the docu series made me cackle, because the way that Brother B was like, the Brobergs don't have any business raising cattle, let alone children, and like hung up the phone.
Oh. No, he did not.
Not because he's not wrong.
But still, like,
Not because
bro.
imagine your child's kidnapper being like, you guys are shitty parents.
Right. Like,
oh man, that shit cracked me up. But again, she was gone for 3 weeks. Like, they have been contacting a lawyer for like, since she'd been gone for like 5 days. So eventually, Bob and Marianne get on a plane themselves and like physically go get her, because Brother B was not sending her back. I'm sorry. So, and Marianne said in her book that after they went and got Jan from the fun center, if they thought she was bad before they sent her there, she was worse after they came and got her again.
oh god.
Like, because obviously she's still not pregnant. And she's in full on panic mode because she just had like a birthday. She's like rapidly running out of time, and she fears that everybody in her family's about to die. So she is fighting them, bro. And this is where we get into the next kidnapping, which she ends up leaving a couple, like maybe a week after she originally gets back. So like the last week of June 1976. Actually, no. It's July 1976 because her birthday's in July.
Okay.
So like a week after this, Brother B has devised a plan and is telling Jan exactly what to do. So he tells Jan to leave a letter saying that she's running away. And he tells her everything that is written in this letter. So she writes it down, but all of it is his words. That way, if like, police analyze it, they'll be able to say like without a shadow of a doubt that she was the one that wrote it because it's in her handwriting.
Right.
So she ends up packing all of her stuff in the middle of the night, sneaking out her window and like sneaking off in a car with Brother B. She leaves the letter that she wrote on her bed. And when they go to check on Jan the next morning, all they see is the letter, and it's addressed to Marianne and Bob. And I'm not going to lie, this shit was so unnecessary, because in the book, Marianne says that when it says Dear Marianne and Bob, Jan spelled Marianne's name wrong. And Marianne was so pissed off about this. Like, girl, be so serious. I think you have bigger problems,
right,
than your daughter spelling your name wrong. But I I could pull up the letter. I don't have it on me. But
Mm-hmm.
the gist of the letter was like, "Dear Marianne and Bob, I'm tired of pretending to be the little girl that you think I am when I'm a grown woman, and I'm
Oh,
tired of you keeping me apart from the man that I love. So if I can't be with him, I fear that I can't be here at all." And basically, like, just that she says that she's leaving. She says, she also writes at some point in there, and she's like, "And to Marianne, I hope that one day in the future we could see each other as women and equals." And it's like, bitch, what the,
yo.
like. And they said that the letter was really weird. Like, they said that it's like, it's Jan's handwriting, but these aren't her words. They're like, this
Right.
doesn't sound like her at all.
Right.
So what ends up happening is Brother B drives the two of them to California. Brother B ends up giving Jan a new identity. He gives himself a new identity, and
Mm.
he enrolls Jan into a private, like, Catholic boarding school. And
Mm.
I'm not going to hold you. His story of how he got Jan into the boarding school is nuts. Is nuts. Like, so he had to beg the nuns at this Catholic boarding school to let her let her stay there a week earlier than the rest of the girls, because this was an all girls Catholic boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, we've been through so much, because I'm a member I'm a member of the CIA,
Yo.
and and we were stationed in Laos fighting the communist.
What the
And
fuck?
while we were there, um there was like a rebel like uprising, and we were in the midst of an attack. So please don't ask Janice, that's what her name was, Janice.
Oh, okay. He like couldn't come up with something that was, remotely different.
I mean, I'm not going to hold you. I really thought that Jan was a nickname for Janet or
Mm-hmm.
Janice, like one of the two. No, that is her full name. It's just Jan.
Mm.
So I don't remember the last name that he used, but he was Tom. I'm just going to say Smith, since I don't remember the name of the last name that he used. And she
Mm-hmm.
was Janice Smith, you know? And he's like, please don't ask Janice about, like, uh her past life and like her parents and everything, because she doesn't see me very often, and her mom died in that uprising, like right in front of her.
This is insane.
And the nuns were like, oh my gosh, I it's like, that's so awful, that poor girl. And he was like, yeah, like, I also need to leave her here like a week early, because I need to go back out an assignment, and I want to leave her here because I don't want to put her in danger anymore. If she's here, at least I know that she's safe. And me, it's like me and like um Harrison or whatever, like whoever the president is. I always think that it's like Harrison Ford is the president at this time. I could
Mm-hmm.
look it up, but he's like, me and Harrison, and he's like, oh, I mean like President Ford. Can like, he just like casually names drop the president. He's like, we're on a very personal basis.
Right.
He's like, this way I can have peace of mind and know that she's safe while I'm out there risking my life for this country. And of course the nuns are like, yes, absolutely, we'll take her in. So That's exactly what they do. They take Jan in and they set her up in um like the boarding school.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, brother B he goes back to Salt Lake City and turns himself in to serve his 15 days.
So he didn't even do it yet?
Nope. This is what I mean. I don't I need like another refresher on how he was sentenced to 15 days in jail for him to like hold off on that for like 3 months before he
Right.
was able to do this. So
What?
he gets Jan enrolled in this all girls like Catholic boarding school and then immediately goes back to Salt Lake City, Utah and turns himself in to serve his 15 days. Like same day to give himself an
That's
alibi,
crazy.
which I I'm actually forgetting a big part of this story too. before before the original like sentencing and everything, you know how I said he spent 30 days in jail?
Yeah.
So during that 30 days in jail, um he actually hired two people that he was bunkmates with in prison to burn down the Broberg's flower shop.
What?
Yeah, he was trying to kill Bob.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he had told those guys to light the flower shop on fire while Bob was still in the building. Thankfully Bob lived, but
Mm-hmm.
that is also part of the reason why Jan was fighting super hard to go to the fun center, because when he was like we need to see each other, he already knew about the fire obviously and was like you see what happens, like Zeta and Zethra are angry with you for not fulfill like they don't think you're trying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like also part of the reason why she was fighting so hard to go to the fun center, because she just watched her family's like flower shop burn to the ground. They did end up getting another flower shop, and that is where Jan ended up working for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
So that had happened. She's she's at the thing, and at this point in time, the Brobergs are distraught because their daughter they know that their daughter has been kidnapped again. They don't believe that note whatsoever that she ran away. The problem is, since she left a note saying that she ran away and they told them for certain they know that that's her handwriting, the police is like, well, she's run away. So they call the FBI and the FBI is like, well, she's a runaway. We can't persecute this. You have like she either comes back on her own or like you guys find her, because we're not like allowed to look for runaways. But thankfully Pete, the guy that was assigned to this case when she was originally kidnapped, um believes the Brobergs. He was like, you're telling me that a 14-year-old girl doesn't know how to spell her own mother's name? She wrote this letter in duress. Like, she was kidnapped. There is no way that she wrote this letter like on her own accord. And they're like, doesn't matter. Stop pursuing this. Like, they were telling him to drop it. So
That's crazy.
because legally their hands were tied, like,
Mm-hmm.
so Pete decided to start investigating this on his own. He ends up giving the Brobergs a recording device, to for their phone, so that way they can record all their phone conversations,
Mm-hmm.
because again, brother B never stops calling their damn phone. Like, I think the only piece they got the entire time during the second kidnapping was Brother B being in jail for those 15 days. But when before he went in, Pete was outside Brother B's apartment, and I guess I guess he was like too out in the open because Brother B approached him, and he was like, "I wasn't aware that there was an FBI case on going on around here, sir." And he was like, "Nope, I'm just sitting here enjoying my lunch." He's like, "Really? All the way out in Salt Lake City?" He's like, "Yeah, why not? It's a beautiful day. I heard you were about to go on your 15-day vacation." And he's like, "Yep, be over before I know it." And like he leaves. Like he's so arrogant that he's taunting the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
But Pete never gives up this case, dude. And
It's
honestly,
good.
shout out to Pete because he like if it wasn't for him, who knows what would have happened to Jan.
Right.
So, Jan, I'm not going to lie, is kind of a wreck. She's not she's not like really getting on with the other girls cuz like the other girls are like regular girls, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They ask her if she's ever had a boyfriend and like that kind of stuff, like boy talk. And
Mm-hmm.
she's just like, "No." And they're like, "You've never had a crush?" And she's like, "Never." And like runs and hides. Like she's very clearly traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's been instructed not to talk to her about it because most people just assume it's about her mom dying in front of her, even though that's not fucking true. It's just
Yeah.
her being like, a victim.
Mm-hmm.
But after those 15 days, Brother B is crazy, bro. So he regularly goes back to Pocatello, Idaho because, him and Gail are divorced. He still goes back to see his kids and go to church with them. Meanwhile, he's living in Salt Lake City, Utah. And like also going and visiting Jan like every other weekend. So like he one weekend he would be in Idaho visiting his kids, and the next weekend he'd be in California like visiting Jan.
Mm.
And and people at the boarding school would say that Jan like would get nervous around the time of her dad's visits and is like, I wonder why. But she like right before she got enrolled, she was telling Brother B how she's nervous about like going there, and she's not sure if she's gonna make any friends, like da 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 da. And he's like, "You're not allowed to make any friends." And
Wow.
and she's like, "What?" He's like, "Why do you think you can make friends with them?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Look, I didn't want to tell you this, but like the aliens, Zeta and Zethra, yeah, the nuns there are also aliens. So,
Stop.
everything that you do while you're at school is being monitored." Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. So this poor girl is like fucking terrified. She doesn't open up to anybody. She's like really weird. Like the other girls don't know how to relate to her. And the nuns just assume it's because she's traumatized and try to ask the other girls, like, not to ask her about it,
Yeah.
which they're not entirely wrong, but she's not traumatized in the way that they think she is. So it's not until like the very last visit that Jan told Brother B no. He like goes
Mm.
to pick her up one weekend, and she was like, "No, I'm not going with you." And he obviously gets pissed.
Right.
Pissed. She does eventually like relent and go with him, but it was interesting that she said no. I guess there was a play at the other like boarding Catholic school, but that one was an all boys school. So she went and auditioned for it, but she didn't want to tell him about it because she knew that he would get like super pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention it would like, you know, uh like that breaks one of the rules of the mission. You're not supposed to be interacting with like boys whatsoever. And in between him going between Idaho and um California, Brother B is calling the Brobergs like a madman. And he's antagonizing the shit out of them.
I man is busy.
Bro, man,
Like,
I'm not gonna lie, the man is unemployed because that's the only way that he's able to do this shit, bro.
right.
So when Janet first initially is gone, Brother B, while he's in town, calls the Brobergs and is like, "I heard Jan is missing. Or like, what are you guys doing to like go find her?" And she's like, "You have a lot of nerve. Like, Marianne's the one on the phone. You have a lot of nerve to be calling here, acting like you don't know where she is. Where is she?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, Marianne. I'm just a concerned citizen." And she's like, "Right. Yeah, I'm sure." And he's like, "Look, the last time I talked to her, she said because you wouldn't let us get married, that she was just going to go hitchhike off somewhere. I don't know where she went. I'm just afraid that she's going to do drugs." He's like, "I'm afraid of what she's doing for money. I think she's selling her body."
Mm.
And Marianne, I'm not going to hold you. For this is probably for the first time in her life that she sees through the bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
because she's like, "Oh, she's like, "Oh, really? Right. Yeah, that's awful." Like she does not like she does not give a shit, but he doesn't hear it. Like he just hears the words. Like he doesn't hear the tone.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just being mad weird, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he constantly calls like that. It's like, "What are you doing to find Jan?" Last I heard from her, she met up with two other girls on the road and they gave her heroin.
Yo?
Yeah, like he is spinning this tale that like Jan is now like a hooker on the side of the road because they wouldn't let her and him get married. Meanwhile, he knows damn well where she is, and he's like an
Exactly.
awful human being. And I'm not gonna lie, the entire duration of the second kidnapping though is like 3 months. She was gone for
Mm.
3 months. So she starts out her school year like, in this Catholic boarding school.
Yeah.
And she eventually does learn to love it over there, actually. Apparently they have like a really nice like theater program because again, despite everything that's been going on, Jan's dream in life was to like be an actress,
Mm-hmm.
which I do think is interesting. She did go on to do it actually. She's never gotten like any really big roles, but she did show up as a character in the docuseries.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile too, in between Brother B going to Idaho, going to California, and calling the Brobergs nonstop, he's also dating.
Um, what?
So in Salt Lake City, Brother B ends up dating a woman who is recently divorced. She's a single mother with a 12-year-old daughter.
Oh God.
Yeah. And the reason that we know about this is because somebody had called the Brobergs that went to their church in Idaho that was in Salt Lake City on vacation and was like, "Hey, I just saw Brother B, and it looks like Jan's with him. They're like, where are you? And he's like, yeah, I'm in Salt Lake City. You guys might want to come down here. So Bob goes, and when they get there, they realize that the girl that's with him is not Jan.
Mm-hmm.
She's younger, but she looks like Jan. So they're like, what is, they're like very confused. And they're like, it's like, it's not Jan, but he's here with somebody's daughter.
Right.
So yeah, it's not comforting news. But Marianne gets the idea that if Brother B's with a girl that looks like Jan, maybe this girl has seen Jan because they know Brother B had something to do with it. They
Mm-hmm.
know that he had something to do with it. So Marianne partners up with local authorities in Salt Lake City to question this girl if she's seen Jan before. And they do. And they do with the girl's like mother present. And I'm not gonna lie, I would have swung. Cause they show Jan's picture to the girl, and she says that she's never seen Jan before. And Marianne was like walking away when all of a sudden you hear, "Is this about the Brobergs?" They're she's like, "I understand that they're going through a hard time, but they need to leave Brother B alone. He's a good man, and it's in the past."
Yo.
Brother, I'd be in prison.
You know he brainwashing this girl?
I mean, that's her boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her man. Of
But
course,
she's 12.
no, this is the mom talking. This is the mom.
Oh.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
the mom talking of that 12-year-old girl that the
Oh yeah,
Brobergs need to
never
let.
mind. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna have to swing.
yeah. No,
We're gonna
I'm
have to fight.
swinging, bro. Because what do you mean? I know they're going through a hard time, but it's in the past. In the past, he kidnapped a 12-year-old girl.
Right. And it's actually still currently going on. Thank you.
Right. Like,
Like
so obviously this was like heartbreaking because this was like the one big lead that they had.
yeah.
So what actually ends up like getting Jan found is Jan actually called the Brobergs. Like, she called her family phone.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad was not home. He was at work, but her sisters were there, her mom was there, and actually her best friend Caroline was there too. And Marianne doesn't end up like talking on the phone with them. She like pretty much only wants to talk to her sisters. And it was like essentially just like girl talk. There was nothing like significant to this conversation. What
Mm-hmm.
ended up getting them found is that since they recorded the call with Jan, they called Pete, and Pete brought it back to like the FBI, and they listened to the tape to try to figure out where she is. And what got her found was she was making a collect call on like a payphone.
Mm-hmm.
So when she was running low on time, she put more change into the payphone. And this is such an odd talent to have. He knew what exactly was the change that she inserted into the payphone, and
Oh.
he was like, it was 2 dimes. It was like, it was 2 dimes and 2 nickels or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, that it's like, with that much change, that with that distance, she could be either in like uh Colorado, California, or like somewhere else. I forgot what the
Mm-hmm.
third location is. And I was like, what the fuck? It's purely off of the sound alone, he was able to determine what what the change was, what the amount was, and what the distance is to be making a collect call like that from the amount of change that she used. And
No,
that's what
that
ended up
actually is crazy as fuck.
like that is such a odd specific talent. Like I'm like, this is what you had to
Right.
be in the and D- Dante said that's a different kind of autism. I'm crying.
Bro.
No, dead ass though, because how often do you have to be listening to be change be inserted that you could
Right.
differentiate it based on sound alone? What?
Mm. But that still only pinpoints 3 states.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. So they end up contacting the local authorities within those 3 states, and the local authorities within the like those areas said that absolutely will do anything to help. Please, like give us her information. So Marianne ended up writing a bunch of letters to a bunch of schools. Actually, she said she had a dream that Jan was at school, so she decided to like write letters to like every school in like all those areas and enclosed
mm,
a picture of Jan in all those letters. She said
mm-hmm.
she got like tens of letters, like between 20 and 30 letters back saying, "We've never seen your daughter. I'm so sorry about your plight. Um, if we do see her, we'll be the first ones to let you know. But here's a picture of your daughter back." Like type of thing. She got between 20 and 30 letters back like that.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until like they got to like I believe it was LA. It was either LA or San Francisco where they were like, we think we've seen your daughter. So the police end up going to the boarding school that Jan is at
Mm-hmm.
because of the letter. And when the police get there, they go to to the head nun's office, hands the picture of Jan over to her and was like, "Is there a girl here that looks like this? She might have a different name, but this is Jan Broberg." And obviously you could very clearly see that this is Jan.
Mm-hmm.
And the nun looks at the photo and she was like, "Nope, never seen her before in my life."
What?
Hands the picture back to the police and sends the police on their way.
Stop.
I'm so serious.
Why would she do that?
Because when Brother B was enrolling Jan at school, he told the nuns that since he's such a high figure in the CIA, that people would come looking for Jan. And if that were to happen, don't trust these people because they're just trying to hurt him and get to her because he's such a prominent figure within like the US government.
That's
So when it happened, she did exactly as Brother B told her to do, which was to
mm-hmm.
turn the people away and call him immediately. So after she sends the police off, she calls Brother B at his apartment in Salt Lake City and is like, "Hey, you better have a good explanation for this because I've never lied to the police in my life."
Mm-hmm.
And Brother B like doesn't say a word. He actually just hangs up the phone. He like just dead ass hangs up the phone, runs to the nearest payphone, and is like, "Hey, yeah, this is Tom Smith. You did the right thing. You did exactly as instructed. I'm so glad. I couldn't risk you talking on the phone number that you called me on, just in case the number is bugged. But thank you so much for protecting my daughter. You're doing a great service to our country." And like hangs up the phone. And the nuns are like, "Anyway, that was weird." So they actually end up calling the police back.
Mm-hmm.
They called the police and was like, "Yeah, so this is Janice Smith. Um, I don't know what's going on here, but she's in gym right now. So they take the police to Jan's like gym class,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as Jan sees the police, like Shuddy started booking it. She booked
Mm.
it. and and they were like Jan Broberg, and she's like, no, my name is Janice. Like she tried playing it off, and they were like, sweetie, we know exactly who you are. It's time to go home. And like Jan is like super defeated, like just super defeated. She was trying to make a break for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with this though is, even though Jan is found and this is a good thing because now she could come home, um she has to spend the night in a juvenile correctional facility, and she has to go to family court the next day because they're trying her as a runaway.
Wow.
So, yeah. And both both Bob and Marianne are like distraught. They are like, she's not a runaway. She shouldn't be charged with this. Like, da 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 da. She should just be brought straight home. And they're like, yeah, I agree with you, but unfortunately, um, this is still being seen as a runaway case because of the letter. Unless Jan says that she did not run away and tells us that Brother B made her write that letter, she has to be processed as a runaway.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, that's not something Jan was willing to do. So she spends the night in a juvenile correctional facility. But given Pete stayed with her the entire time and was like her like voice in this like hearing, and the judge actually like threw Jan's case out and was like, you know, she's free to go, like please take her home to her parents.
Yeah.
So thankfully she did not like end up spending time in a juvenile correctional facility. um so she gets brought home, and she's like defeated. She's like defeated at this point. She thinks that she has failed the mission. She's now like just biding time until like her family essentially dies. She's like full on depressed. She doesn't fight with her parents anymore. Like she's just a shell. And um by the way, within that 3 months that Jan was gone, Bob and Marianne rekindled their relationship and are no longer getting divorced.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they like it, you know.
Nah,
Like,
fuck him.
no, yeah.
Fuck Marianne. Um, so so they end up going to trial again, and this time it's on a lot more charges than just like kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
He's uh brought up for kidnapping, and he's also brought up for impersonating like,
Federal agent.
yeah,
Like,
impersonating a federal agent, which is a felony offense.
mm-hmm.
So they Jan does not like end up testifying. The Brobergs like do. They end up taking this to trial. The problem is Brother B pleads insanity.
Oh.
He says that he is not in his right mind because he is diagnosed as a manic depressive.
Oh.
Yes. So he said that he was like, he was manic when all of this
Manic. Yeah.
happened. Like he was not in his right mind. All of the decisions he made, he was like, you know, not legally competent to be responsible for. And he won.
Wow.
He won. So instead of being sent to prison, He
He went to a
gets,
mental institution.
yes, he was sentenced to go to a mental institution, which the Brobergs were like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Who this man kidnapped our daughter not once but twice, and he doesn't get to do any jail time. And their lawyer is like, look, he has been sentenced to a mental institution. It's essentially the same as jail, honestly. The problem, like the difference is, there's no like definitive timeline of how long he's going to be in there. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
so he could be in there for the rest of his life? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So they're like now relieved
Mm-hmm.
because because they're like, well, obviously this man is crazy because he kidnapped our daughter twice. He probably will spend the rest of his life in this mental institution. We don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we go on to like finish the school year. It's now 1977, and Jan is now 15.
Mm.
And Jan, again, like, she's a shell. She has met up with Brother B maybe 2 more times between like him getting sentenced and everything. Actually, I think she only met up with him once, and he said he would see her when he gets out of the institution, but he has no idea when that is.
Mm-hmm.
So Jan is like besides herself because now she feels like there's nothing that she can do. Like they can't complete the mission. But at some point, Jan has a conversation with her mom, and she was like, is it weird that I haven't gotten my period yet?
Uh-oh.
And her mom's like, what do you mean? And she's like, I've never gotten one. And her mom was like, oh no, that's fine. I didn't get mine until I was 16.
Mm.
So this entire time from 12 to 15, this man has been drilling into her head that they need to have a special child in order to save this planet and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
Jan has never had a period. She is still like prepubescent, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
She's never been able to get pregnant. This man is so evil. And she, like, this is also how sheltered women are within the Mormon community, because she knows what a period is because of how old she is and all of her friends getting one,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know that she has to have one in order to get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Brother B just told her that they have to do the act and she'll get pregnant. This man is so evil.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's the summer and Jan's now 15, she begs her parents to let her go to a like theater summer camp, because she really liked the theater program when she was at the Catholic boarding school. She said that they really had a good theater program over there, and the one at her school is just not nearly as good. So she wants to go to a theater summer camp for the summer. And I still don't I still would not have made this decision, but it ended up being a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Um but Miriam was like, we just got her back. We weren't sure about letting her go to summer camp. But she's like, I told Bob that she's grown and we need to let her go. And I'm like, bitch.
Hmm.
Cause if it was me and I like, you know, granted, she was found in October. It's now like July of the next year. It's been, can you be in the house for like a year before we let you go off somewhere in another state?
Right.
Because I think this was like, I don't know, in like Wisconsin or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the decision to send her to this theater summer camp was actually a good one. So she goes to the summer camp, and of course, there is also boys at this theater summer camp, and one of the boys there has like a big old crush on Jan.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they were hanging out together at some point, and he tried to kiss her, and she had a full blown panic attack because
Mm.
obviously.
Yeah.
So she runs to her room. She's freaking out. She calls Marianne and is like, "How's everything over there?" Like trying to calm herself down. And she's like, "Oh, everything's good." It's like the dogs are a little sick though. They've been throwing up. I think I fed them something bad. Um,
Mm.
they don't they don't tell Jan this, but the dogs were actually poisoned.
Oh my god.
It was Brother B.
What?
Yeah, he like sprinkled like poison on some food and left it in their yard.
But I thought he was in the mental institution.
And he freaking sucks. I'm sorry. So the trial happens like pretty like fast, and he was only in the mental institution for 2 months.
Are you
I'm
serious?
so serious because this man is charisma on max.
No,
This
that
man is
ass.
the ultimate gaslighter, dude.
Right.
So he got out. He got out like right before Jan was going to go to the summer camp, and he
Mm-hmm.
was trying to tell Jan, um, to tell him like where the summer camp is. That way he could come visit her while she's there, and she actually never ends up telling him where it is.
Good.
Yeah, thank God. But yeah, so Brother B like poisons their dogs, and the dogs end up being fine. They rushed them
Mm-hmm.
to the vet right away, and they got their stomachs pumped.
Okay.
But when she called, it was just like, "Oh, I think they ate something bad." It's like they'll be fine though. But as soon as Jan hears this that the dogs are sick, she goes back into full panic mode.
Mm-hmm.
Like she fell apart. She's crashing out. She's
Mm.
saying that it's all her fault. She shouldn't have done any, like she shouldn't have been alone with that boy. Like she is crying and not making goddamn sense. And Marianne like is not making any sense of it whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, the dogs are just sick. It's like cool. Why would this be your fault, But Jan's like not hearing any of it. So she ends up like, you know, hanging up, crying herself to sleep, and then calls back first thing in the morning. And when she does, Marianne's like, yeah, the dogs are fine. And Jan is like, what do you mean the dogs are fine? A boy tried to kiss me. I need to be punished.
Huh?
Yeah. Because again, she's not supposed to have any type of interaction with like anybody of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
And Marianne's like, what? The dogs are cool. Yeah. Are you okay, honey? And she's like, okay, I gotta go, like, bye, mom. And like, she finishes out the camp in a state of like confusion because
Right.
this boy tried to kiss her and nothing bad happened.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense. That goes against everything that's been indoctrinated into her for the past, like, 5 years of her life.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets back from summer camp. Everything's fine. Um, they end up throwing a sweet 16 party for Jan. And Jan, I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of like awful the entire day, and not like she's arguing with people, like she is morbidly depressed.
Because to her, the mission has failed, then I guess at any point, you know, her family's just gonna die, and then her little sister
Mhm.
is gonna become the next one to have to do it.
What's super fucked though is that on the day of her birthday, which by the way, like all the girls are apart by like 2 years in age. So
Mm-hmm.
Jan's 16, Karen is 14, Susan is 12. Susan's
Mm-hmm.
the same age that she was when she was first taken.
Mm-hmm.
And since she failed, she was like, death would be better than making Susan go through this. So
Mm.
she goes into her like parents' room and finds the gun
Yo.
that her dad had bought to protect them from Brother B. And she was going to go and kill her sister and kill herself.
Mm.
She ends up not going through with it because Susan was in the middle of wrapping Jan's birthday present, and Jan just like burst into her room, and she was like, "Oh, Jan, you ruined the surprise." But like Jan was super triggered by the birthday present
Mm-hmm.
because it was like a speaker. And it was like the exact same speaker that Brother B had used to give her all those goddamn alien messages. So she
Mm.
was like super triggered seeing it. And she was like, Susan, what is that? And she's like, what? And she's like, Susan, how did this get here? And she's like, that's your present. And she was like, what? She's like, yeah, you could record a message on it and you could play. I was going to record that I love you. And it's like, I'm glad that you're back. So that way, if you ever feel bad, you could listen to me say that. And Jan's confusion, bro. Jan's so fucked up at this point. So like, she doesn't do it. She ends up putting the gun back. They end up like celebrating her birthday like the rest of the way. And I'm not gonna lie, that moment with her sister was like very touching. Like it kind of hurt my heart a little.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to bed, and Jan wakes up in the morning and sees that everything's all right. Like her family's upstairs, they're having breakfast, everybody's happy, it's normal. And she is like, she looks like she's been hit by a truck. So, like she is so fucked up. Like she doesn't know what's going on. And
Shorty is going through it.
she's going through it, dude, because everything she knows is like crumbling around her. So her dad's like, "Hey, how you doing, Jan Bug? What's going on?" I see that it's like, "Did you have fun at your party?" And she's like, yeah." And he was like, "I can tell you're still wearing your party dress from yesterday. Are you all right?" Like she went to bed in her like full clothes and like did not change out of them. And she was like, "Yeah." And like she just goes to her room like re-traumatized. And her parents could tell that like she's not right. So they have Caroline come over, and um, Karen, Jan, and Caroline end up having a sleepover.
Mm-hmm.
They end up watching movies in the basement. And they were like, okay, you girls, like, don't stay up too late. And they start asking Jan, they're like, I don't want to like pry, but did brother B ever like touch you? And Jan breaks, dude. she
Oh.
starts she starts telling them everything. And because like she starts telling them everything, but she also has like a mental breakdown first. Like when they ask her, she starts bawling, bawling, dude. She like throws open her chest because she has like a storage chest in her room, and she
Mm-hmm.
takes out all the things that are in there and she starts ripping them up. And the girls start looking at it, and they're love letters. They're like numerous love letters from B. And they're
Mm.
like, Jan, what happened with him? What's going on? Why is this your response? So Jan, like, after she finishes crying, she starts telling them everything. But Jan is so traumatized from this that she's telling it in third person. She's telling it like this happened to another girl and not her.
Yeah.
So after Jan tells them everything that happened, they didn't sleep. This took the whole night.
Mm.
None of the girls slept. They get up in the morning. Her parents are having breakfast. The girls look a mess. And they're like, Jan, you need to tell your parents. And she's like, no, I can't. They're like, yes, you can.
Right.
Like, Jan, that man's been lying to you. And she's like, Jan, you've never had a period. How are you going to get pregnant? And she looks at Caroline like, what? Like, she had no idea.
Yeah.
So she ends up going upstairs and she was like, Dad, can I talk to you? And Bob is surprised because honestly, ever since this whole thing started, Jan has barely interacted with him.
Mm.
She always steered clear of him. So
Mm-hmm.
when she said this, he was like, yeah, like absolutely. So she starts retelling everything to him, and he stops her halfway through because he's like, I felt like I had to throw up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I had to get Marianne to have her sit with me through this because I couldn't listen to this by myself. He was like, I was gonna throw up and then I was gonna go kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she finally told her parents in 1977. And I want to say that it really ends there,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't. Even though Jan um can can finally confess that
Mm-hmm.
brother B had molested her, unfortunately the statute of limitations on it was up by the time she was ready to report it. Because by the time she was ready to report it, she was 22 years old.
Damn.
So the statute of limitations on that was up and she was no longer able to press charges.
Wow.
Which, by the way, I thought this case ended there. Brother B never stopped bothering Jan.
Oh
He
my
didn't he
God.
didn't stop until she was like 23, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And because it's Jan like graduated high school, she went off to college, and while she was in college, like her two sisters like got an apartment, all three of them together while all of them were in college. And brother B had like called her. She's 22 years old. He called her and was like, "Hey, um so our marriage in Mexico never got annulled. Could you like do something about that?"
Why can't you?
Like I mean, she was like, no. As much
Mm.
as I don't want to be married to you, the only reason why you want to get that annulled is because you're doing this again.
Mm.
So she ultimately did not um allow him to get the marriage annulled.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up writing her a letter being like, you know what, my marriage plans like ended up falling through. You're right, you're the only girl for me, like type of thing. And I don't think he fully left her alone until she was like 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
So like for like 12 years this man was awful. And in the 2000s is when her and her mom decided to write the book.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted the world to know that there are people like this out there to
Yeah.
educate the public and protect your kids. So her and her mom wrote the book, and they started going on book tours. I believe it was like in 2006,
Mm-hmm.
2003. It's somewhere. It was the early 2000s. And along this book tour, Brother B sues them for like slander or libel, whichever one it is, about like lies,
Mm-hmm.
like defamation, you know?
Yeah.
And ultimately I don't think anything came of the case. I think the case ended up getting like dropped, but he ended up stalking her all over
Oh
again.
God.
He was on, like, he showed up at like all of her like freaking book tour spots to try to intimidate her. Like he would, like, she would be like giving a speech about the book and her experience, and he would be in the crowd saying that she's a liar, that none of that
Hmm.
happened, like no, whatever else. Like, so what ends up happening is she ends up getting in contact with BACA, which is Bikers Against Children, like child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So they could start showing up and acting as bodyguards for these book tour events. So at one of the events, he showed up and saw that there were like bikers there, and they were like not letting him in. They
Good.
they were not letting him in. So what Brother B did is he got in his car and he hit one of the bikers with his car.
Huh?
Yeah. The the biker did not end up passing away, but he was like seriously injured. So he ended up going to the hospital. And when he was facing charges for it, Brother B was like old at this point because he was already in his 40s, like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's, he's in his 70s now, in the early 2000s. So
Mm-hmm.
when he was facing police charges, he killed himself in custody.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where our case ends. Brother this case sucks, bro. Cuz brother B really never saw real justice.
Right.
Brother
That
yeah. When I tell you this case haunted me, Tina, haunted me.
I can see why.
That, like, I dived so deep into this. I watched the documentary, I watched the docuseries, I read the book. Shit, part of me wants to reread the book just to like refresh.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the book is majority written by Marianne, so I kind of don't like the book either because it's PR as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she definitely paints herself out to be like not as bad as it was. And I will say, since like, because the docu-series is the newest thing, the book came out in the early 2000s, the documentary came out in like 2016, 2017. The
Mm-hmm.
docu-series came out in 2022.
Mm.
So when it came out in 2022, Jan was doing like, podcast tours and whatever else. She was on a podcast with somebody doing an interview, and one of the first things out of her mouth was that she was surprised at the internet's backlash on her parents.
Why? They were
Girl,
not shit.
they really weren't. Like, she was like begging the internet to be kind and not crucify her parents. She's like, I had great parents, I had a great childhood. Da, 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 da. I'm like, no, you did not,
You did?
sis.
Like,
Right,
you sure?
right.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. But yeah, Jan.
That.
Yeah, Jan's been in therapy for years,
Mm-hmm.
and she she says that she's like healed. She's also married. She has a child now. Like, she just wants to advocate for like child victims,
Right.
which, good on her.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate that she never got justice.
That's sad.
Yeah. I think him killing himself was too easy.
Definitely too easy.
But yeah, that is the case of abducted in plain sight. Truly horrific, truly horrendous, and honestly, that girl deserved better.
No, she sure did.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like I wish I could say that he was sentenced to like, life in prison. I can't.
Right.
Because he definitely deserved it. He
Right.
this man
Even if he
was
was old as fuck, serve it out until you die in that bitch.
mhm.
Like
Honestly, I'm pretty sure they would have killed him. Like
that too, yeah, because they do not take lightly with
no
yeah,
kids. Yeah, no.
yeah,
Anything with kids, you're
you're cooked.
yeah, you're messed up. But yeah. Um
Wow.
that actually took us to about like 2 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man. But yeah, hopefully next week Tina will have a camera. Not the oh my god, I'm
I
sorry. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I switched the screen. I was just checking to see where we're at live.
um yeah, hopefully I will have a camera again next week.
Cuz we are continuing with the true crime. Tina's going to have a
Yeah.
case for us next week.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any announcements?
Not really. Yeah.
Type
Mm-mm.
type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um I, I am doing a Halloween raid train tonight. Um so pray for me. I'm going to try
Yeah.
to eat something and take a nap, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because my time slot is between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. I
Damn.
know nobody will be awake, but support me if you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for this week, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Don't mind Tiny Tina.
Hopefully this is the only time I have to do this. So
Yeah, hopefully. But until next time, we have an email if you want to send us a unhinged story or you just want general life advice. Be sure to email us at unhingedunfiltered@gmail.com. We do post the episodes on the U of Tubes. I don't know when we're catching up on that. Um,
mm-hmm.
and we do also post the episodes on Spotify, which we will eventually catch up on at some point. Uh, until then, we love y'all. Thank you. And I don't know, punch somebody in the face.
Period. I support that message. After all this bullshit,
Right.
yeah.
But good night, y'all.